Hello collective, this is Tan from Artemis Oracle. I'm doing your reading for the week ahead. I hope you're all doing well and staying safe. Today is August 10th and yeah, let's see what comes out for the collective. I have my love oracle cards, so we can start off with that. For some reason I just gravitated towards them. So I hope the full moon has been treating you kindly. For me, it has been emotionally challenging because girl has a lot of releasing to do. A lot of releasing. I mentioned in my full moon reading that I posted last night that it's a moon that's supposed to be really good for air and fire signs. I have a fire moon sign, but I have a Leo moon, and Leo is the opposite of Aquarius, and we're currently in Leo season, right? So I feel like it's hitting me emotionally harder than if I recall correctly, last year around this time was a difficult time for me. No, not really. No. Now that I think about it, not really, because that's when around the time that I got hired for my current job, so things were looking up, But this, so purging definitely has to do. So I don't know if anybody else has been experiencing that. Like, are you a fire moon sign or have fire in your chart? Have you experienced any emotional, I don't want to say issues, but like any resurgence or like past pain, past wounds, past people returning, especially since we are in a Mercury retrograde too, so we had to take that into account. So maybe that's why things are a bit magnified for me, but maybe some of you may be experiencing that yourself. I'm not trying to make this about me. I'm just sharing. I'm sharing what I'm going through, just in case somebody else is going through the same thing, and it could just be what's going on planetary wise, astrologically and lunarly. So let's see what comes out. Okay, hopeless, sinking, despair, falling apart. Okay, I think that with what's going on, we're currently still under the full moon energy. If you are experiencing this feeling of hopelessness, like you feel like life is falling apart, you feel like you're desperate and that your hands are tied in some way, maybe it could be all mental, because the only way we are really trapped is if we allow ourselves to be trapped, if we allow ourselves to be stuck. So if you believe that you're stuck, then you're going to be stuck. If you feel like there's no way out, then there will be no way out, unless you change the way you look at things. You have to maybe release that mindset that you're trapped, that there's nothing you can do, that things will improve, that things will get worse. No, you have to think the opposite of that. You have to think that things will get better, things will improve, that there is something to be hopeful for. And I would say with that, and you can take it as with a grain of salt, that I forgot what I was going to say. Maybe I should say it. Maybe I wasn't meant to say it. I forgot what I was going to say. What else, Spirit? Well, since this is a love oracle card, let's see what else comes out. I want cards to come out. Peace. Balance, harmony, friendship. Okay. If it's involving a relationship, I had a bunch of cards flip. 2 cards flip. Intimacy and second chance. Reconciliation, making amends, opportunity, and intimacy, bonding, sensual, confining. Okay, I think I'm getting this. Like, some of you may be feeling hopeless about a specific situation. If you take these messages as a whole, I feel like some of you may be wanting to reconcile with somebody, or there's someone who is wanting to reconcile with you. And they may feel like the situation is hopeless, that there won't be an opportunity for them to come forward. There won't be an opportunity for them to make amends with you. They do want to make a chance. They want to bring some peace into the situation. You probably want peace in the situation. Maybe you're enough in peace. Maybe the situation has been a source of discord, or the fact that the situation isn't at a, I guess, what is say? It's not in a good place. That's what's bringing some sort of distress, you know. But if that's the case, there may be somebody coming forward. There may be, you know, or maybe it could be you taking the initiative, and somebody wants to have a second chance at like creating a bond, forging a bond with you, bringing peace into the situation, resolving any issues or conflicts, bringing some of resolution. It says at the bottom, withdrawn, single, lonely, solitary. I feel like this is with the hopeless energy. Like whoever this is, or you could resonate with this energy, you or them may be feeling hopeless and feeling lonely, isolated, like you don't have anybody, that you're single, you're just like that there's no point in hoping that you will meet somebody, that there's no one good out there. Oh girl or dude, sometimes I am with you with that. But what I do is I look at my kid's father, right? To me he's a great man, and if I was fortunate enough to have him in my life, there was something in me that attracted someone like him into my life. So that still exists within me. So I have hope that I can meet someone who is not going to be exactly like him, but will love me and treat me the way he did, you know? Like he set a standard, you know. I'm not going to be comparing to him, but, you know, lately I've been setting the bar low, and I deserve more than what I've received in the past. So, you know, if you feel like that sense of loneliness, or I mean hopelessness, well, it could be loneliness too. If you've ever had someone that was like the person that you did want, or like if you look back and you're like, wow, that person's a great person, that was a great partner, then know that there was something in you that attracted that person to you, something good in you, and that still exists. It's a matter of you bringing that out more so that you can attract that type of energy again. But this time, don't fuck it up, you know? If it was you, you know, because if there's somebody you're thinking back about, or you're thinking back on, and you see them in that positive light, it means that maybe it was you that did something wrong. You know, because if you're looking at them, you're like, oh, you know. So take that with a grain of salt, like I said. So just don't give up hope, you know. Some of you may be feeling like you're broken. Ooh, that's deep. Because, you know, sometimes we have these wounds within us that we feel like will never really heal. Like they're always going to be following us, like our shadow, you know. It's always going to be there. But that's a part of you that you really need to work on healing. And you don't really need to have someone else come in to bring you peace. You have to find that peace within yourself. And I think once you're able to find that within yourself, this may be will be a catalyst towards some reconciliation that you may be wanting to have, you know. So if you're feeling heartbroken, destroyed, your heart's shattered or whatever, you know, it's very important for you to heal. And I mentioned this about how in the past, how, you know, when our heart is broken and it heals, it will never be the same. It'll be different, and we learn from it, we grow from it, and it changes the way we are. If we allow it to, it could be for the better, you know. And I feel like this is something that can benefit you, especially if you're someone who's in need of peace, or maybe the person that you're dealing with or have dealt with that maybe wanting to return, that would like a second chance. That's something that they need to do themselves in order for there to be a second chance, a reconciliation that can actually be built on a firm foundation, rather than it just like you going around the same circle doing the same shit over again, and then it ends up with the same result, you know. So that's that for the love message. Okay, so let's see. Totally different reading now. It may be connected, but that's not my intention. But if it does come up, then I will let you know. Or you could use your own discernment and judgment, because you know your situation better than I do. We're all on different timelines. Like some of you could be already in a relationship, or some of you just broke up, you know, or you're in the middle of the healing process, or you're at the tail end of the healing process, or you're still haven't reached the point where you're starting to make the effort to heal, to take care of yourself. Silence and encounter. Meet by chance, love at first sight, crush. Keep silent, coercion, hints. Keep in mind that this may have already happened and maybe resonating, or you know, it could be happening. I know this is for the week ahead, but like I mentioned, we're all on different time frames, so like time is fluid. Nothingness, death, meaninglessness, erasure, forgetfulness. Okay, the first thing that I'm getting is that some of you may be meeting somebody, you may have an encounter with somebody, and it's something that it may be a hush-hush encounter, or it could be you've had an encounter, or you may be having an encounter with somebody, and they may ghost you, may, you know, 1111 doesn't say that, they may go silent, they may disappear, they may act like they forgot about you. Worst case scenario is you've had an encounter with somebody, someone you had a crush with, you have met by chance, love at first sight, and you're dealing with them. Worst case scenario is this person, you may find out that if there's silence in the situation, something may have happened to this person. That's worst case scenario, and I don't like it, and I hope that's not the case for anyone. But that's the reality of life, you know. You could be here today and gone tomorrow. So if that's the case and that resonates with you, I'm so sorry for your loss. And if this is a person that just ghosted, good riddance to them. Ooh. You hear the geese? Wow. Wow, oh my god, I wish I could show. I couldn't show you. That was terrible. You just saw skies and buildings. But I'm sorry, my legs are all open. My sacral chakra showing. My sacral chakra exposed. I'm in a different location because I'm trying to stay away from the water because there's a lot of noise. So I'm hoping the volume is good on this video. But I can never know because it sounds good on my phone. But, I mean, and I try to upload from my phone rather than connect it to a computer, and then it's too much work, you know? And honestly, I don't like edited tarot videos. I don't really like them. Let's see. Anything else for the week ahead? Anything else for the week ahead? Got a chunk of cards coming out. Ooh, I feel like some of you may be finding out somebody's passing away. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a love situation. It could just be somebody that you know. You may be they may be an elderly person. Ooh, I love that. It reminds me of Amsterdam. So it says lost loved ones, memories, elder nightfalls. So yeah, I would say if you lose somebody, if you find out about the passing of an elderly person, maybe like an older family member or someone, yeah, they may be passing. And if that's the case, I'm so sorry for your loss. Now, if that's not the case, because I see sunset, right? Lost loved one, memories, elder nightfalls, divine intervention, serendipity, catalyst, karma, rose, passionate love, forms short, reflection, reference, distinguished appearance, and loss of control. Reckless derailment is gaining. Ooh, okay. Now going back to the loss, someone may, the sunset and the loss of control, maybe finding out someone may have had an accident. Okay, someone may be passing because of a I was gonna say heart attack, but I meant to say car accident. So someone may pass because of a heart attack. Okay. So divine intervention, passionate love, thrilling struggle. I feel like with this, I feel like some of you, there may be an ending coming to a relationship that was a short-term relationship. It may have been something where that may have been like a reckless relationship. It could have been like a, what do you call it, like a fling or something. And it's something that was meant to end. It was something that was supposed to teach you a lesson. It was one that was supposed to, or it could be a serendipitous relationship, or maybe the ending is serendipitous because it's meant to end. You know, it's supposed to have you reflect back on your actions, how you may have made yourself look, how the other person may have been treating you. It's supposed to be a source of reference because it says reference here, you know? So whatever this lesson was, it was something that's supposed to teach you something. I think it was supposed to be tied to something that you've experienced in the past that you may have repeated, and that is showing you how important it is for you to not be so reckless, especially when it comes to, if it is with your love, with your sex, anything. I think you may be ending that phase where you're entertaining people that just only want sex-based relationships. They don't really want anything serious. And I think you're starting to take a look in the mirror and see yourself, see your value, and know that you deserve more than what you've experienced in the past, and that you deserve to be treated better, you know? That you've allowed yourself to engage in reckless behavior for a thrill, you know? For a thrill. But, you know, especially depending on your age, you know, that kind of gets old and it's draining. It can be draining. It can have a negative impact. You know, it can even cause bodily harm. You know, when you think of the loss of control in a car accident, you know, you could get hurt. It could be physical hurt. It could be illness. It could be, you know, you may be seeing things that are not going good for you. And you may be feeling things that basically telling you it's time for you to step away from this, that it's time for whatever the situation is to end, because it's already reached its peak and the lesson should have been learned already. If not, it might be something that you'll continue to repeat until you get the lesson. You know, that's what I'm getting from this. In the bottom collection, I feel like you have like a lot of experience with this, or you have different points of reference in your past that correlate to the message I'm saying right now. There's a lesson in every relationship, every dynamic, friendship, family, romantic, platonic, whatever. We learn from each other, and if we actually are cognizant of the lessons that each relationship provides us, then it's what's going to lend to us reaching different levels of growth, personal and spiritual growth, you know. But if you are not aware and you're going by your desires and what makes you feel good and your ego, your pride and all that stuff, then you're not going to see the lesson, you know. You're not going to see the lesson, and you're going to continue to keep having these patterns, but with different people, and it's just going to become a never-ending cycle until you decide to jump off the hamster wheel and look at it from a different perspective and see the lesson, your part in it, and how your actions are attracting or creating these circumstances where you may be acting recklessly, you know. I just put the deck that says read. You know, some of you may be operating off your, I want to say root chakra, you know, and that's the lower chakra. We want to be operating off these, you know, the heart, our third eye, and our crown. You know, we need to bring that energy up, not keep it down here in our lower energy centers, you know, like our root, sacral. We definitely need the solar plexus because, you know, that's for confidence and stuff, but we need to bring that energy up, not keep it down there, because that's going to create some stagnancy and repetitive cycles in your life. This is just what I'm getting. So, yeah, so I'm going to leave everything there. This is for the week ahead. So, today is August 10th. It could be for whenever you happen to come across this video. So maybe I'm just going to say for the rest of August. This is going to be for the rest of August. yeah, this reading is going to be for the rest of August. Yeah, so I hope you have a great day, afternoon, or evening ahead, and I'm wishing you all the best, and love and healing and peace. Find peace within yourself. Do anything you can to make yourself feel good, and it be healthy, not like you're distracting yourself or anything, but you know, like journaling, listening to music, relaxing meditation, reading, not social media, no, yeah, podcasts, you know, that allow you to introspect and whatnot, you know, just anything that can help you rise up, you know. So take care.